Space is supposed to be empty, cold, silent, dead. But what if the emptiest place in the known universe isn't empty at all? What if something is hiding there? Something so massive, so ancient that scientists still struggle to explain why it exists or how it escaped detection for so long. Tonight, we journey 700 million light-years away into a region of space known as the Boötes Void, a place where nothing should exist. And yet, we found something, and it shouldn't be there. This is not science fiction. This is real data, real observations, and a mystery that refuses to go away. What is the Boötes Void? The universe is not evenly spread. Galaxies don't float randomly like dust. They form filaments, walls, and clusters, vast cosmic highways of matter. Between them lie enormous empty regions called voids. Most voids are already mind-bendingly large, but the Boötes Void is different. Discovered in 1981, this void spans nearly 330 million light-years across. To understand how absurd that is, our entire local group of galaxies could fit inside it thousands of times. Astronomers expected to find almost nothing, a few faint galaxies at most. Instead, they found something impossible. The first shocking discovery. When astronomers first mapped the Boötes Void, their instruments kept returning errors, blank readings, dead zones. At first, they thought their telescopes were malfunctioning, but they weren't. The void was real. Then, something strange happened. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, deeper surveys began detecting isolated galaxies inside the void. Not near the edges, not clustered together, but floating alone, like islands in an infinite ocean. Today's count? Over 60 galaxies exist inside the Boötes Void. That number alone should not be possible, because according to everything we know about cosmology, void galaxies should not survive. Why this breaks cosmic rules? Galaxies need gravity to form. They grow where matter is dense, where dark matter pulls gas together. Voids lack both. So how did galaxies form here? Even worse, some of these galaxies show signs of active star formation. That means they are not ancient relics. They are alive, evolving, changing, as if the void itself is feeding them. And this is where scientists began to worry. The dark matter problem. Dark matter makes up about 85% of all matter in the universe. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, but without it, galaxies cannot exist. Here's the problem. The Boötes Void should be almost completely devoid of dark matter. Yet gravitational measurements suggest something massive is influencing these galaxies. Something unseen, something enormous, and something we cannot directly observe. Some physicists began to ask an uncomfortable question. What if the void isn't empty, but filled with something we don't understand? The hidden structure theory. One radical theory proposes that the Boötes Void is not a void at all. Instead, it may be a collapsed region of space where matter behaves differently. A place where normal cosmic rules don't apply. some models suggest that the void contains exotic dark matter filaments, remnants of primordial density fluctuations, or even structures left over from before the Big Bang. These structures would be invisible to light, but detectable through gravity, meaning we are blind to most of what exists there. The signal that shouldn't exist. Then came the data anomaly. While analyzing background radiation patterns, astronomers noticed a subtle distortion coming from the direction of the Boötes Void. Not a burst, not noise, but a consistent gravitational lensing effect. Something massive was bending space-time, but telescopes showed nothing. No cluster, no gas cloud, no visible structure. Just emptiness. And yet, space-time itself said otherwise. The most disturbing possibility. Some researchers quietly proposed a theory that never makes headlines, because it sounds insane. What if the Boötes Void contains a structure so old, so massive, that it formed before galaxies? A relic from the early universe? Or worse, a remnant of a previous cosmic cycle? If true, it means the void is not empty space. It is a graveyard. And whatever is there has been hiding for billions of years. So what exactly is influencing the Boötes Void? Why do galaxies exist where they shouldn't? And what are astronomers afraid to publicly admit about what might be hiding there? Because in the next part, we'll explore a theory so extreme it challenges the very origin of the universe. And once you hear it, you may never look at empty space the same way again. In part 1, we entered the emptiest known region of the universe, a place where galaxies should not exist, yet dozens do. Something unseen is shaping them. Something massive is bending space-time. And whatever it is, it doesn't emit light. Now we go deeper, because to understand what's hiding in the Boötes Void, we must talk about dark energy, the force that tears space apart. The universe is expanding, not slowly, not gently, it's accelerating. Something is pushing galaxies away from each other faster and faster over time. Scientists call this force dark energy. It makes up nearly 70% of the entire universe. And here's the terrifying part. We don't know what it is. We don't know where it comes from, and we don't know why it behaves the way it does. But the Boötes Void appears to be a hotspot for it. Measurements suggest expansion inside the void is happening faster than average, as if space itself is being stretched from the inside. The void that's growing too fast. Most voids expand. That's normal. But the Boötes Void is expanding anomalously fast, almost as if something inside it is pushing outward. Some physicists believe the void is not just empty, it's actively expanding in a way that defies standard models, which leads to a chilling possibility. What if the Boötes Void is not a passive region, but a reaction? The cosmic wound theory. A controversial idea emerged quietly among theoretical physicists. They call it the cosmic wound hypothesis. The idea is simple, but disturbing. What if the Boötes Void is the scar left behind by a violent event in the early universe? Not a supernova, not a black hole, something far larger. Something capable of tearing matter apart across hundreds of millions of light years. In this model, the void is not empty, it's what remains after something was removed. What could remove matter on that scale? There are only a few theoretical objects powerful enough. A primordial black hole the size of a galaxy cluster,
a vacuum decay bubble, or a phase transition in space-time itself. Each option is terrifying in its own way, but one theory stands above the rest. Vacuum decay, the universe's reset button. The universe may exist in a false vacuum, a temporary state, a fragile balance. If that balance breaks, a bubble of true vacuum could form. Inside that bubble, the laws of physics would be different. Atoms could not exist. Matter would instantly dissolve. The bubble would expand at nearly the speed of light, erasing everything in its path. Some physicists quietly ask, what if the Boötes Void is evidence that such a bubble already formed and stabilized? A region where normal matter simply cannot survive. A region where only rare, adapted galaxies remain. The galaxies that should not be alive. The galaxies inside the void are wrong. They are smaller than expected, isolated beyond normal limits, chemically primitive, and actively forming stars. They behave as if they evolved under completely different conditions, almost like biological organisms that adapted to extreme environments, which raises an unsettling thought. Are these galaxies survivors? Not settlers, survivors. The simulation hypothesis enters the chat. Some researchers went even further. What if the Boötes Void is not a natural structure at all? What if it's a rendering gap? In some simulation models, low-detail regions are left mostly empty to conserve computational resources. The Boötes Void is too spherical, too large, too empty. If our universe were simulated, this is exactly what an optimization artifact might look like, a place where fewer objects were rendered. And the galaxies inside? Edge case errors. Why scientists hate this idea? The simulation hypothesis is not popular, not because it's impossible, but because it's unfalsifiable. You can't test the universe's source code, but anomalies like the Boötes Void keep forcing the question back into the conversation. If the universe follows elegant rules, why does this place break them? The gravitational map that made people nervous. Using weak gravitational lensing, astronomers attempted to map mass distribution in the void. The result? A subtle but undeniable pattern. There is structure there. Not visible structure, gravitational structure. Something extended, something vast, something smooth, like a shadow without a source. The forbidden possibility. One idea is rarely spoken aloud because it changes everything. What if the Boötes Void contains a form of matter that repels normal matter? Not antimatter, something stranger. A substance that pushes galaxies away instead of pulling them together. If true, the void isn't empty, it's occupied, and whatever occupies it doesn't want company. Why we can't look directly. Telescopes see light, radio waves, X-rays, gamma rays, but if something emits nothing, if it only interacts through gravity or space-time distortion, then we are effectively blind. We could be staring directly at it and never know. Cliffhanger. So what is it? A cosmic scar? A physics-breaking vacuum bubble? A simulation artifact? Or a form of matter beyond our understanding? In the next part, we'll explore evidence that suggests the Boötes Void may not be empty space, but a boundary, and what lies beyond that boundary is far more unsettling than emptiness.
If the Boötes Void were merely empty space, this mystery would already be solved. But it isn't, because the data doesn't point to absence. It points to a boundary, and boundaries exist for one reason: to separate what belongs from what does not. The edge of the void, where things get strange. Astronomers expected a smooth transition from normal cosmic structure into emptiness. That's not what they found. At the edge of the Boötes Void, galaxies behave abnormally. They are stretched, distorted, gravitationally stressed, as if something inside the void is exerting pressure outward.
almost like the void is pushing back against the rest of the universe, the wall that shouldn't exist. When mapped in 3 dimensions, the Boötes Void appears unnaturally round. Cosmic structures are messy, chaotic, irregular. This one is clean, too clean. Some astrophysicists began referring to the boundary as the Boötes Wall, not because it's visible, but because it behaves like one. Matter flows around it, not through it. Cosmic flow anomalies. Galaxies near the void are moving in directions they shouldn't. Their velocities don't align with known gravitational attractors. Instead, motion vectors suggest repulsion, as if something massive is occupying the void and pushing everything else away. Gravity pulls. This doesn't. The multiverse collision theory. Then came one of the most radical explanations. What if the Boötes Void marks the location of a collision between universes? In inflationary cosmology, our universe may be just one bubble in a vast multiverse. If 2 bubbles collided early on, the impact zone would look exactly like this. Matter stripped away, space distorted, expansion accelerated. A cosmic bruise, a region where physics never fully recovered. Searching for the impact signature. Scientists searched the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. They found something disturbing, a subtle temperature anomaly aligned with the Boötes Void. Not proof, but not random either. If a collision occurred, this is precisely where its fingerprint would remain. What survives a universe collision? Very little. Matter would be erased, structures destroyed, space-time warped. Yet something remains. Those strange galaxies inside the void may be the aftermath, not original residence, but reconstructed matter, reforming in the only way possible after an incomprehensible catastrophe. The idea no one likes talking about. There is another explanation, one that makes even theoretical physicists uncomfortable. What if the Boötes Void isn't a scar from the past, but a window? A region where our universe is thin, where something from outside is leaking in. Brain cosmology, a hidden dimension. In some models, our universe exists on a brain, a 3D surface embedded in higher dimensional space. Other universes could exist micrometers away. Normally, they never interact, unless the barrier weakens. If the brain finned in one region, gravity could leak, energy could escape, matter could vanish. That region would look exactly like the Boötes Void. The leaking universe hypothesis. In this model, the void is not empty, it's draining. Matter is slowly slipping into a higher dimension. Dark energy is not pushing space apart, it's the pressure difference between universes. The Boötes Void could be the largest leak ever detected. Why we haven't seen it happen? Because the process is slow, cosmic slow. Millions of years for noticeable change. Human lifetimes are meaningless on that scale, but the math suggests it's ongoing, which means the universe is not as stable as we assume. The most disturbing observation. When simulations include a leak or collision model, they predict something specific: increased isolation over time. Galaxies inside the void should become more cut off, more independent, more strange. And that is exactly what we observe. Are we seeing the future? Some cosmologists fear the Boötes Void is not unique. It may be an early example, a preview. If similar voids begin forming elsewhere, it would mean the structure of the universe is unraveling, quietly. Why this doesn't make headlines? Because there is no emergency, no explosion, no visible threat, just math. And math says something is wrong, very wrong. The question we can't escape. Is the Boötes Void a scar from another universe, a leak into higher dimensions, or a boundary protecting us from something else? And if it's a boundary, what's on the other side? Cliffhanger. In the next part, we examine the possibility that the Boötes Void is not passive, but intentional, a structure designed. And once we explore who or what could build something on this scale, the emptiness becomes the least frightening explanation.
If the Boötes Void were a natural accident, then its mystery would end with physics. But the deeper scientists looked, the harder it became to believe the structure formed by chance. Because randomness does not create precision, and the Boötes Void is too precise. The shape problem. The universe does not like symmetry. Cosmic structures are jagged, uneven, chaotic. Yet the Boötes Void is eerily spherical. Not perfect, but close enough to raise serious eyebrows. Statistically, a void this large should be far more irregular. Instead, it resembles a deliberately cleared volume. Natural processes don't clean space. Supernovae scatter matter. Black holes consume locally. Inflation stretches everything equally. None of these processes remove matter so preenly from a single bounded region. Yet that is exactly what we observe, almost as if the space was emptied on purpose. The unthinkable question. At this point, a few scientists asked a question they never intended to ask. What if the Boötes Void is artificial, not built in the human sense, but engineered on a scale so vast it dwarfs imagination? Type 3 civilizations. The Kardashev scale ranks civilizations by how much energy they can control. Type 1, planetary. Type 2, stellar. Type 3, galactic. A Type 3 civilization could manipulate energy on the scale of entire galaxies. They could rearrange stars, harvest matter, even reshape cosmic environments. If such a civilization existed, the Boötes Void would be well within their capability. Why create a void? There are reasons, terrifying reasons. One possibility is containment. Removing matter reduces entropy. Clearing space could isolate dangerous phenomena. Another possibility is energy extraction. Some theoretical machines require vast empty regions to function. Vacuum energy harvesting, dark energy manipulation, space-time engineering. The cosmic quarantine theory. In this model, the Boötes Void is not empty. It is a buffer zone, a quarantine. Something inside the region must not be allowed to interact with the rest of the universe. Matter was removed to prevent contamination. The galaxies inside? They may be anomalies, leftovers, or observers. The observer problem. Some void galaxies show unusual orientation alignments, not random, aligned, pointing inward, as if responding to a central influence we cannot detect, which raises an unsettling thought. What if the void is being monitored? Dyson void, a megastructure concept. Instead of surrounding a star, you clear an enormous region of space to manipulate energy fields directly. Such a structure would be invisible. No light, no radiation, only gravitational effects. Exactly what we see. Why this theory isn't publicly discussed? Because it crosses a line. Once you allow artificial cosmic structures, you're forced to ask, who built it? Are they still active? And do they know about us? There are no comforting answers. The timing problem. The Boötes Void appears ancient, billions of years old, older than Earth, possibly older than most galaxies. If it is artificial, then intelligence existed in the universe long before humanity emerged, possibly long before the Milky Way formed. The silence inside the void. Radio surveys show anomalously low background noise from the region, not just low signal, suppressed noise, as if the void absorbs information, a quiet so deep it feels intentional. The filter hypothesis. Some researchers connect the void to the Great Filter problem,
If advanced civilizations inevitably destroy themselves or isolate dangerous technologies, then large-scale cosmic engineering might be used to prevent catastrophe. The Boötes Void could be evidence that someone passed the filter and decided to lock something away. The question no one answers. If the void was created intentionally, then it had a purpose, and purposes imply continuation, maintenance, monitoring, which means it may not be abandoned. What we don't see is the point. Every telescope searches for light, signals, emission, but advanced structures would be designed to avoid detection. Silence is not absence. Silence is camouflage. The most chilling possibility. What if the Boötes Void is not hiding something from us, but hiding us? A blind spot, a region of space where observation from elsewhere is impossible, a cosmic hiding place. Cliffhanger. In the next part, we confront the most disturbing idea yet, that the Boötes Void may be active, changing, responding, and if that's true, then whatever created it may still be watching.
If the Boötes Void were ancient and inactive, then it would be terrifying, but manageable. But evidence suggests that the void is not finished. It may still be doing something, and that changes everything. The void is not static. Astronomers began comparing data taken decades apart. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then, patterns emerged, subtle ones. Galaxies near the void's boundary were shifting their trajectories, not randomly, coherently, as if responding to a slow, persistent influence. Time doesn't behave normally here. According to relativistic models, regions with unusual space-time curvature experience time differently. Inside the Boötes Void, simulations predict temporal drift, not enough to notice with clocks, but enough to alter cosmic evolution. Galaxies inside the void appear younger than they should be, as if time itself moves more slowly there. The rejuvenation anomaly. Stars inside void galaxies show unexpected metallic ratios. They look refreshed, as if star formation restarted after being dormant. This should not happen in such isolated environments, unless something is adding energy from outside normal cosmic channels. Energy without a source. There is no visible inflow, no gas streams, no mergers, yet stars keep forming, which implies one thing. Energy is entering the system invisibly. From where? Not from surrounding space, from within. The pulse theory. A fringe but growing idea suggests the void emits periodic space-time fluctuations, not bursts, not waves, pulses. Slow expansions and contractions measured over millions of years, almost like breathing, almost like regulation. Why this terrifies physicists? Natural structures decay, they don't regulate. Feedback systems imply control. Something is maintaining conditions inside the void, preventing collapse, preventing dispersion, keeping it stable. The central region we cannot see. Every attempt to probe the exact center of the Boötes Void fails. Data noise increases, signal clarity drops, not gradually, abruptly, as if observation itself breaks down past a certain threshold. The possibility of active camouflage. Advanced systems would not just be invisible, they would be anti-visible, designed to interfere with detection. Gravitational smoothing, signal absorption, noise injection. If something wanted to remain hidden, this is exactly how it would do it.
the Watcher hypothesis. Some cosmologists use this term quietly, the Watcher, not a being, a process, a system that monitors large-scale cosmic conditions and intervenes when thresholds are crossed. The Boötes Void could be one such intervention zone. Why intervene here? Because the location is ideal. Far from dense galaxy clusters, minimal interference, low background noise, a perfect place to operate unnoticed. Are we affected? Here's the unsettling truth. There is no reason to believe the Boötes Void is interacting with us, but there is also no reason to believe it couldn't. Distance does not imply safety in a universe governed by space-time. The pattern across the cosmos. When astronomers searched for similar voids, they found smaller analogs, none as large, but some showed the same characteristics: accelerated expansion, anomalous galaxy behavior, gravitational smoothing. This suggests a repeatable phenomenon, which means design or a universal process we barely understand. The most uncomfortable possibility. What if the Boötes Void is not unique? What if it's the prototype, the first instance of something that will happen elsewhere, slowly, quietly? Why nothing happens suddenly? Cosmic systems do not rush. They operate on timescales that dwarf civilizations. A process that takes 1 billion years is effectively instant from the universe's perspective. Humanity would never notice. If the same process began in our cosmic neighborhood, we would not see it coming. No warning, no explosion, just gradual isolation. Fewer galaxies nearby, more darkness, more silence. The purpose question returns. If the void is active, then it has intent, and intent implies criteria, rules, thresholds, which raises a chilling question. What triggers intervention? Are we qualified to know? Perhaps the Boötes Void is not meant to be understood. Perhaps it exists precisely because the universe contains things that must remain isolated, not destroyed, contained. The final warning sign. Every model that assumes activity predicts one thing: the void will continue to expand, slowly, relentlessly, not aggressively, but inevitably. Cliffhanger. In the final part, we confront the ultimate implication that the Boötes Void is not about what's inside it, but about what it protects the universe from. And once that idea is considered, emptiness becomes mercy.